G'day and welcome to the Harley Roadshow. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're regular, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you about something that came up on my YouTube feed the other day. So probably most of you that follow me, a lot of you I would think would follow a guy called Million Dollar Bogan, who's a YouTuber based down here in Geelong, which is not far from me. Daniel Hayes goes on, adventure rides with Harley Davidsons. If you haven't seen it, by all means check into the channel. It's a great channel, fun channel. A lot of the stuff he does is pretty inspirational, and does a lot of stuff for mental health, and did a big ride across the Nullarbor Plain here in Australia. I think he raised over $100,000 riding on a little monkey bike. But you can view all that on his channel. The reason I'm talking today is about political correctness gone mad. Okay, so he did a vlog last week, which I think I've got a pretty good moral compass, and I didn't find anything wrong with it. So what he did was he did a vlog last week, and it was about political correctness. And he did it with the guys down at Geelong, Harley-Davidson, who are big supporters of his channel. And going by what I can tell, I mean, I don't know them personally, but they all seem like really good, genuine guys. And they talked about things like, when we were growing up, how, fat kids who would have came to athletics, they did things like shot put and discus and javelin, and the skinny ass kids did things like high jump, triple jump and long jump and all that sort of stuff. And how, nowadays everybody gets a medal. You don't have to fight for anything. Just that, along those lines. So Harley Davidson, in their infinite wisdom, have obviously put pressure on Colin from the Harley dealership. And have forced Daniel to take down the, excuse me, they've forced him to take down the vlog. Otherwise, obviously, Colin was going to get grief. Now, Harley Davidson is the very definition of thumbing your nose at society, of being politically incorrect. That is what they're based on. Now, Harley Davidson, if you're listening, which you're probably not, matter of fact, I guarantee you're not. But just, as a casual observer, the company you're running is losing its way. You're trying to be everything to everyone, and you can't. But the whole point of Harley Davidson's is the counterculture. It is thumbing your nose at society. It is about getting out there and being free, and being, not being conformist. That's the whole point of Harley Davidson. Now, to start doing this stuff and to start, putting pressure on people to not have an opinion, in my opinion, which we're all entitled to, is just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Anybody should be able to have an opinion. It should not matter what you think. I mean, as long as it's not, you're not inciting violence or you're inciting racism, you need to be able to have an opinion. It's unfair. Now, look, I think Daniel said he was going to, he's not going to do vlogs anymore. That's probably an exaggeration. I think he'll still do vlogs, but I don't think he'll be able to do it with Colin anymore, which is ridiculous. When you consider, the amount of promotion that those two guys do for Harley Davidson, I would have thought, and I've said it before, a couple of times, I don't know why Harley doesn't sponsor him. Obviously, that's never going to happen now. But why on earth you wouldn't embrace everything that they're doing at Harley Davidson in Geelong, and what Daniel's doing, it's beyond me. He's doing nothing but promote that brand. He's doing nothing but promote what that brand used to stand for. Obviously doesn't stand for that anymore. So, let me say this too. Taking the piss out of somebody for what they are is not a bad thing. It's comedy. It's being funny. Right? I have a gay daughter, and I take the piss out of her. It's not being offensive. I have friends that are all colours. My father was a political refugee. I've got kids that come here that are black, white, Asian, you name it. And I take the piss out of all of them, and they take the piss out of me. And that's the banter. That's normal. It's a normal thing to do. A couple of times here recently, I've seen things on, with football players touching each other on the backside, and the media jumps up and down about it. It's sexual harassment. It's bullshit. It's not sexual harassment. Those guys know exactly what they're doing, right? Most times they're doing that to get a rise, especially when the coach is talking to them. They're trying to get a rise out of it, right? Stop trying to be offended. The world has gone mad. None of those guys are worried about getting touched in the arse in front of the coach. What they're trying to do is get them to have a reaction while the coach is talking to them, and all of a sudden the coach is starting to yell at them rather than anybody else. That's what it's about. It's about fun. We have forgotten how to have fun. Million Dollar Bogan is all about fun. The stuff he does on that channel is funny. The stuff Colin says is funny. There's nothing wrong with what they're saying. We need to, it seems at this point in time, everybody is just waiting to be offended, trying to be offended. It's madness. There are so many things that Harley-Davidson needs to worry about that's far more important than some YouTuber down here in Australia, in Geelong. They need to be worrying about their marketing strategy, the type of motorcycles they're producing, what they stand for, not censoring a bit of fun at a Harley dealership in Geelong. It's madness. And I can't believe that they would actually put pressure on a guy to force somebody else to take down a post, to take down a vlog. I just don't get it. Harley-Davidson, for God's sake, get back to what your core values are. Get back to what made you what you are now. Well, not what you are now, what you were. Get back to it, because the track you're going down is a very, very slippery slope. If you start, censoring what people can and can't say, that is completely against the whole concept of what you're trying to produce. But you know what? You have to laugh at life, because if you take life too seriously, God almighty, it's boring. And we don't want life to get boring, because believe me, at the moment life is boring enough. We're stuck in lockdown. We've been in here for the last friggin' 6 months. It's boring. And things like that, things funny, things on YouTube, channels like Daniel runs and Million Dollar Bogan, it's a bit of a light relief. And if you can't distinguish between somebody mucking around and somebody being deadly serious, you maybe need to not watch YouTube, or get a life and go and do something else. Anyway, look, that's just my opinion. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, by all means leave a comment. Look, I'm not here to apologise for Daniel Hayes or Million Dollar Bogan. He's big enough and ugly enough to worry about himself, and I'm sure he'll be fine. But I just think, as a whole, we need to stop. We need to stop being offended for stuff that doesn't need to be offended by. Catch you next time. Remember, take the time to make someone smile. See you later.